This is KGW News at noon.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Brenda Braxton. We begin this noon in the Middle East, where Israel says it's blocking deliveries of food, water, and fuel to the Gaza Strip. Right now, Israeli troops are fighting Palestinian militants 2 days after Hamas launched a rocket attack that killed hundreds of people, including 9 Americans. And now Hamas is threatening to kill its hostages. NBC's Alice Barr reports from Washington, D.C.
As the full scope of the deadliest attack on Israel in decades comes into focus.
This is an attack that I don't think anyone saw coming.
The State Department confirming that at least 9 Americans have been killed, with more U.S. citizens still missing. Lawmakers briefed on the rapidly developing situation. Americans who managed to make it out of Israel describing scenes of horror.
There were rockets above us all day.
Israeli officials say at least 700 people have been killed in what they're describing as their nation's 9/11. Israeli airstrikes now hammering the Gaza Strip after the ruling Hamas militant group in Gaza attacked Israel on multiple fronts Saturday morning, raining rockets into Israel, while Hamas fighters infiltrated, in some cases by paraglider, as this video shows. A music festival in the Israeli desert, one of their first targets. 260 people were killed here, many more taken hostage. As the hostage crisis unfolds across the country, this Israeli father desperate to find his kidnapped wife and 2 young daughters.
They are babies, and my wife, they are my only family.
The Defense Department announcing the U.S. is sending military assets closer to Israel to deter any further attacks, while U.S. officials are not ruling out using the assets to help one of America's closest allies in its fight against Hamas. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Here at home tonight, the Jewish Federation of Greater Portland is holding a community gathering to show support for Israel. KGW's Art Edwards spoke to one member of the group and also has reaction from the Northwest congressional delegation.
Certainly saddened, appalled, shocked that it could even happen.
The Hamas attack happened on Simchat Torah.
It's supposed to be one of the most joyous holidays on the Jewish calendar, and to confront this sort of shocking news, it's just been really difficult.
The surprise attack began with thousands of rockets fired on Israel. Waves of Palestinian gunmen poured out of Gaza and into southern Israel. Hundreds are dead. Israel has responded. Israel's prime minister declared his country is at war.
It's not going to be pretty. Israel will do what it has to do to defend its borders and to defend its people.
Representatives from Oregon and Washington also reacted to the attack. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley said, "My heart is with the Israeli people and all those impacted by these acts of terrorism against innocent civilians." Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, "The terrorist attack on Israel is appalling. The United States stands with our ally in the face of today's heinous violence." Washington Senator Maria Cantwell, "We must ensure full U.S. support for Israel to defend itself and work to avoid further escalation and a wider war." And finally, Congressman Earl Blumenauer, "I am horrified by the terrorist attacks in Israel, our strongest ally in the region. I firmly stand with the thousands of Israelis in harm's way."
We can't give up hope, but it really makes it hard to envision that there could be peace, because Israelis think, well, if this is what happened in Gaza, can you imagine what would happen in the West Bank if Hamas took over the West Bank?
Art Edwards, KGW News.
This is a rapidly developing situation. We will continue to update you on our website and later newscasts as we learn more. Here in the Portland metro area, it was a violent weekend with police looking for suspects in 3 deadly shootings. Last night, officers responded to Southwest 5th and Washington downtown and found a man injured. Paramedics took him to the hospital where he died. 2 more shootings happened Saturday. One in Old Town left a man dead and 2 others hurt, and another in Gresham where a man was shot and killed at 182nd and Southeast Powell. So far, police have not made any arrests. Well, there's now a place to go to figure out how much your kicker rebate will be. It's a record $5.61 billion, the largest in Oregon history. Taxpayers get some money back when the state collects more revenue than expected. To calculate your share, go to the Department of Revenue website, look at the Oregon Surplus Kicker Credit page, answer some questions, and boom, it's going to spit out an estimate of the tax credit that you'll receive on your 2023 return. Okay, the rain is back to start the work week. Rod's in the Weather Center with a look at that radar.
Yeah, it took a while for the rain to actually get into the Willamette Valley, but now here we are. You can see everything is pushing inland and generally moving south to north. We'll keep giving you some closer looks. Heavier rain pockets currently near and south of Salem down to Eugene, but what has been a light rain over the past half an hour more than not is starting to pick up a little bit into Portland. But here's Salem and Turner. One of the spots is picking up a little bit of heavier rain. There's in yellow some heavier rain outside of the Staten area. I have been watching winds, not overly bad, but noticeable. North bend southwest to 21. We've seen some gusts at the beach this morning, generally to about 25. John Day has a southwest wind at 23. Well, here's down where it's been raining a little bit longer than it has been in Portland, in Turner. This is just south of Salem. That's the Willamette Valley Vineyards camera up on the hill. You can see the low clouds, definitely raining, and the streets slowly getting wet with the rain picking up a little bit here in town. We're at 63. So the steady rain probably between now and about 2 o'clock. After that, we'll break into decreasing showers. So it could be pretty dry. Actually, it could be totally dry, potentially at 4 and 5 p.m. today, with temperatures holding steady about 64. We'll have more on this rainy pattern, day 1 of 3, coming up in my forecast.
See you then. Thanks, Rod. Well, in case you missed it, a 4.3 magnitude earthquake hit northern Washington last night just before 7:30. The epicenter was under Marrowstone Island, but the quake was felt all around the Puget Sound. No injuries or damage have been reported. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network says its Shake Alert system did detect the quake, but it was too small to actually send out a public mobile alert.
I love you, Bear, and I'll be back up in the clouds with you before you know it.
Friends and family gathered over the weekend to remember the student pilot killed in a plane crash in Newburgh. Barrett Bevacqua and his flight instructor died last Tuesday night when their plane spiraled out of the sky and into a home. A third person on board was injured, but no one on the ground was hurt. Barrett's family called him a Renaissance man who loved to sing, cook, and hunt.
I never would have thought I would have to live a day without my brother, and a lifetime without him doesn't seem fair.
Bevacqua was training to become a commercial pilot. Federal investigators are still trying to determine why that small plane crashed. Well, today is Indigenous Peoples Day. It celebrates the culture and contributions of Native people. Among the local events, the Portland Art Museum is offering free admission. The public is invited to see special exhibits, films, and artist demonstrations. Also, the group Future Generations Collaborative is hosting a celebration at Barbie's Village starting at 4 o'clock. The address is 935 Northeast 33rd Avenue. The event includes actor Jana Schmieding from the hit show Reservation Dogs. She's a guest speaker and her talk begins at 6.